My name is Bill Haley for the government reform called Competitive Representative Agencies. Now, right now, we are getting our representation by district and voting within our district for a representative to come out of there to go to the Congress or the state legislative office or city council and the like. Are you getting representation the best there? If the candidate you voted for lost, are you represented? If the candidate you voted for won, but it's not your preference in the primary, are you being represented? What if the best candidate out there, even for the primary, only agreed with you for, let's say, 70% of the stuff? 30% of the stuff, no. Well, you're going to be voting for that person probably, because that's the most highest percentage versus the other people who agreed with you, 60%, 50%, 30%, 20%, whatever. And then how important are those 60 or 70%? But are you really represented? I want you to learn a better way of getting representation. What if you had a competitive regulatory agency system where you had roughly 12 different groups that had different philosophies of how to be governed, and you could pick that group, and that group sends representation to the city council, to the state legislative office, legislative branch, to the Congress, and allow them to take your views, because there's 1 out of 12. You pick the one that matches best. 1 out of 12 means all you have to do is gather around with roughly 5% of the your fellow citizens saying, this is our views. Go up there and represent us. So when something happens, you can go to your representative agency and say, this is what I want done about it. And if they say, no, we're not on the same page, well, you can switch to another competitive representative agency. So you can switch around to make sure you finally figure out which one you want to go with. And your representation, your vote, your selection of them gives them more power in the legislative branch. So if the one I pick has 6.7% of the population, we send representation with, I think I said 6.7% of the representation, and the decimal point goes all the way out. So if you pick a representative agency with 12.1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 4 percent of the people, then you have that exact same thing. I forgot that number. Anyway, but the decimal points go all the way out. So every switch of a selection of who's going to represent you comes with a different power in those representatives in that legislative branch. And then we can utilize that for some executive voting and the like. This can be utilized significantly going into it. So your entrance into governance, how you interact with the Social Security Agency, how you interact with the EPA, how you interact with other people, can be through your people, through the competitive representative agency. So there's a lot to it. It can get a lot more involved than just the voting part. It can be your representative representing your values, your interests, and they can fight for your interest in these bureaucracies. Obviously I have the other channels called competitive governance, so that's going to take it one step further. But this is just on competitive representative agencies. Look at all my reforms, more on this subject through all my videos, through my Facebook pages, through Haley2024.org. Please consider a donation if you could, and until the next video.